Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Yeah, what day is it today? Wednesday the 23rd. Oh my God. September is almost over. And yeah, that's trying to formulate words about how I feel about that. It's already end of September, and then it's almost October, and then it's almost election day. Hey Alice, thanks as always for joining the chat. Hello, cautious hopeful. And hello, BB5999. Thanks for welcome back to the chat. Alice says, "Wow, it feels like Friday." I feel you. So my husband recently started a new job that requires him to be up earlier than he had been before. So we've actually been going to sleep early, early for us, which is like around 11:30 or midnight, somewhere between there. Because we're both like very much night owls. So then we used to sleep at like 1 or 2 a.m. And then we've been getting up around, I've been getting up around 8 and 8, like 8 to 8:30, which to me is like really early. Um, Although I used to get up at like 9:30. So it's only like an hour and a half difference, but I don't know, that hour feels like a lot of difference. And that for some reason makes me feel like I'm like awake for longer, probably because I get like more daylight. Um, and so it makes me feel like I've already gone through many weekdays. So I feel you when you say that, Alice. And hello to Roaming the Stars. I feel like you are a handle that I haven't seen before. So welcome to the chat. And as you might notice, we have new background. So actually, let me try and make this a little bit taller. Um, yeah, I went to. Ooh, does that mean I'm now out of frame? No, okay, I'm fine. I went to our studio office in SF and brought back my standing desk uh, because I finally accepted that this is. I mean, I don't know why it took me 6 months to accept this. I think I'm just like particularly stubborn. I finally accepted that I'll be working from home for quite a while. And also because like my back was not having it with all of the sitting I was doing while working. So I brought back the standing desk and rearranged my whole home office area. And so the window is now over there, whereas before it was to my right. And then I now have a whole wall that I've decorated, and I feel like it like massively gives me, I feel so basic doing this. I feel like um I don't know, this like YouTubers, like lifestyle YouTubers with all of the fairy lights. I don't know if you can see the fairy. I love fairy lights. So I've put up the fairy lights and I've turned it on. I've always wanted to like put up fairy lights somewhere on my wall. Um, but yeah, and then I decorated it, and I'm a little bit sad that my favorite poster, so I'm gonna try and do this, is out of frame. But can you see this? Let me see. So yeah, so that I'm like pointing somewhere, but that is my favorite poster. It is the food labels from the movie Fantastic Beasts, and it is very beautiful. I love staring at it. It gives me a lot of inspiration. I'm a little bit sad that it's out of frame, but at least I can see it. So, and those are postcards from Studio Ghibli. I've been trying to remember the artist behind. Oh, I guess you can't even see. And also because like my little the like box for my face is so small, so I guess you can't even see any of this. But I maybe I should be like more professional and have a uh, one of those like another view that's like just my face, and then I can like transition, can like fade between those, like this view and the view with my face where I'm just, well, I guess for when I'm just chatting. Um, I ooh, interesting. I just realized um, there are some things that are happening with my chat where my chat isn't being fully displayed. I guess maybe that's okay. Yeah, so I was on Jason, Learn with Jason stream yesterday. Sorry, I like just took a shower, so my hair is like really bothering me. That's why I'm like doing this. So I was on Learn with Jason's stream yesterday, and his setup is like so professional. Like he has like all these different transitions between different scenes, and uh, yeah, and then he has like all these like custom GIFs that you can trigger when you like subscribe or when you I guess like give points or it's really fun being on his stream. So actually, let me pull it up. And with Jason. Yeah, so that was what I was just on, and I guess you can't quite see the fun Twitch stream effects he has, but highly recommend his channel. Super fun. Yeah. Ooh. Hi, mint wa chocolate. Wow. I just because you have the like WA in there, I like started pronouncing it in like a Japanese accent. Like I really wanted to say like mint wa chocolate. I don't know if that's the that's the intention, but also this is something that I noticed a long time ago, which is that and I think this is quite common for people that speak different languages, and where your voice is higher or lower depending on the language. So like this is the most noticeable for me when I speak English. My voice is a little bit lower, and then when I speak Japanese, my voice, or not voice, but like my pitch. Sorry, my pitch like just goes up. It like gets much more high pitched. And I can't stop myself. Um, yeah. So hi Anna, thanks for joining today, and thank you for joining Jason's stream yesterday too. I'm so happy that you were able to get the Front and Masters subscription. And I'm just gonna start saying your handle in like a Japanese accent, just FYI. Mint wa chocolate. How would I? Okay, mint wa chocolate. Mint wa chocolate. Um, mint wa chocolate. Chocolate. Mint wa chocolate. Oh, you're from Korea. Oh, sure. Why is used in same meaning in both Korean or Japanese? Yeah. So, to answer Hitnet's question, I also speak Chinese and Japanese, and I remember I used to watch Korean dramas when I was in high school, and that was such an interesting experience because I would like recognize bits and pieces from like in Korean because Korean has such similarities to both Chinese and Japanese. So I'd be like, oh, that's like that word sounds like almost exactly the same in Korean as it is in Japanese, and it actually means the same thing or very similar things. Or like it would be like very similar for like Korean to China and Chinese too. So very interesting. I'm like I just still remember random Korean words because of that. Like I still remember the word for bag is like, and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, I'm sorry, but for like bag for Korean is like kabang, something like kabang, because in Japanese it's kabang. And then the word for, I think, appointment yeah, like appointment is 약속, because in Japanese the word for a promise is 약속. So random words I still remember from watching Korean dramas. And then I also have just like random completely unuseful phrases that I know in Korean that are like the ones that they just said, like the main character just said all the time, like a phrase for like, do you want to die? Or like, are you crazy? Or like for some reason the two phrases that they said all the time. And so I remember those too. Um but mint was God. Mint was chocolate. Mint was chocolate. Asks what is and hello, welcome. Sorry, I got so distracted by your handle. Um welcome for your first time, and asks what is data visualization. So data visualization is basically trying to take numbers and presenting it in some sort of a visual form so that it's easier to understand or easier to spot patterns. And you can I actually came across a tweet that was really interesting that was arguing that tables are visualizations, which I actually quite agree. The tables organize numbers in a way where to try and help us understand. But usually visualizations, you might think of are like line charts or bar charts or pie charts, and then from there it could get a little bit more esoteric. But the main goal is to present numbers, usually a lot of numbers, in a way that's easy for our brains to process. But um, ooh, hi Gilliam. Gilliam says, my pitch doesn't change that much between languages, but maybe it's because they're all European based. Ooh, that's so interesting too. Yeah. I also kind of feel like it's like a very like cultural thing. My and I think my Chinese is mm, also lower in pitch, closer to my English, but like my Japanese, I like wonder if it's because of like kind of those culture and social aspect of it, because like I think girls are characterized to have higher pitch in Japan. Like it's like kind of like this cutesy thing. Not that I'm like trying to be cutesy or anything, but for some reason everything I pronounce end up like at a higher pitch in Japanese. Um, but uh, yeah, Anna, congratulations on the raffle. And sorry, no, I mean programming languages. Sorry, I was just talking about like Japanese and Korean, and I thought that's what you meant. So in terms of programming languages, I only really use JavaScript, and that's just because for me personally, um, I have such a hard time context switching between different programming languages. So then I basically just stick to JavaScript. I mean, in school, I learned Python and I learned Java, and um, there was a class that I slept through a lot where I quote unquote learned C. But yeah, so like a lot of the languages you might learn in school, I learned, but then I wouldn't say I mastered. And I certainly don't remember how to use them with any sort of fluency now. So it's primarily just JavaScript. Oh, thank you, and I'm glad you found yesterday's stream really informative. So for yesterday's stream on Jason's, and actually I think his Twitch is Jay Langsdorf. So this is his handle. Uh, BB, if you're still fine. Yeah, so yeah, you found it. But this is his handle, and yesterday we essentially refactor something he had previously done with the previous gift, yeah, previous guest. And then we, I'm gonna readjust the, ooh, and then in the refactor, I kind of talked through how D3 works. So if you're interested, This one is really very much a kind of going back to the basics with D3. Ooh, I really like the song that's going right now. So the music is by Lullatone, which is a really awesome band in Japan that I came across and found because of Alice, who also streams with Lullatone in her stream. So, okay, all right. So, let me kind of talk about a little bit more about my progress on this project since Friday, since we kind of started on it. Wow, we only started gathering data on it on Friday, but this is the project where I wanted to do a series of bite-sized charts around election data, and and then especially around voter access to the 2020 election. And so we kind of went and brainstormed some ideas, and we kind of Googled around for some data, and ultimately the um, uh, this is me trying to organize the different data sets that we found. And actually, I think ultimately these might be the data sets that we're going to end up using. And today, what I wanted to do is I'm going to take this organization a step further. And actually, I should have actually done this, which is right this morning, I actually had, I think I finally figured out the way that I want to structure this project, like from a thematic perspective. And so I'm going to show you, actually, let me do this. And let me go ahead and export my idea from my iPad to here. So I shall do that. And then that way you can see, actually I'll drop this into my kind of Notion notebook, my Notion. So this is essentially the theme, I think, for the series of charts I'm going to make. And I want to follow kind of this, yeah. So I think I'm going to organize the data, all of the, because there's so many data sources I feel that I'm going to have to potentially like dig into, potentially clean and analyze. And so I thought it might be really good. And also, right now, tentatively, I'm thinking about like 20 charts. And so I think it would be really good to like kind of bucket those. And so I decided that the kind of the themes I'm going to go with is to follow the steps of voting. So the first step is kind of voter registration, or like, can I even vote? Because there's, you know, the people that in the US are not allowed to vote are those that have been convicted of felonies or have been deemed mentally incompetent. And these are two areas where I think there's been reports of abuse, a lot of the reports of abuse of, like, I guess, of legislations that have been passed. And sorry, I'm not an expert in any of these, so this is just me trying to recount what I know and like what I've read. So if I like if I misrepresent anything accidentally, or if I say something incorrectly, please let me know. But yeah, so these are the places where there's been legislation where that have been passed that like abuse these two categorizations as a way of voter suppression. And so I think this is something that I really want to focus on as one theme. Then there's once I'm registered, like, am I able to mail in and vote? Because not every state allows mail in voting. And for those that allow for mail in or absentee voting, there's those that allow for it, like, does not need any excuse. Like, fortunately, I live in California, and for this election, because of the pandemic, we are just going to get our ballots. Like, I think all of us are getting our ballots in the mail, which I think is really, really great. Um, to not have to go to the polling place, but that's not the same for every state. And even for the states that allow for mail in, some states have really tight timelines. Like, I think again, in California, we're allowed to mail in the latest day that we um, can mail in our ballot, I think is November 3rd. And then we're, I think, allowed 17 days for the ballot to reach whichever office is doing the counting. Um, but so I think that's usually pretty good, like, amount of lead time, but that's also, again, not the case for every state. So then there are some states where it's like the last day you can mail in your ballot is November 3rd, but also your ballot needs to be in by November 3rd. So it's kind of like, well, like, do you expect it like to be like instantaneously like magically transferred to wherever it's like gonna be counted at? Um, so there's like the mail in timeline that we need to think of. And also, I've been reading, and also I was able to get in touch with EJ, who compiled this really great notebook about where the votes are at risk. And he was also mentioning that even when mentioning to me, even when you're able to get your vote mailed in, there's really big risk in that vote being like discounted because of some sort of, like, error in how you filled out the form or how you're registered. Um, and oftentimes you won't hear back about that, so you won't even know that your vote has been discounted. So I think that's something that falls under this. And then, if I cannot do mail in voting for whatever reason, then the third thing's like, can I get to a, yeah, I wrote down, can I get to a safe voting place? I don't know why I wrote safe in there, but I guess that is very appropriate. And then if you can vote early, or if you need to do day of, and then there was also EJ shared a blog post with me that he wrote. Actually, let me try and pull that blog post up because um, some of you might be interested in it. So EJ worked at a newsroom for a while, working on election data, and so this is kind of the things that he's learned about elections. And then one of them that I thought was very interesting that stood out to me is sorting machine security. Um, what was it? You had it somewhere in here. Mm-hmm. Oh, voting machines. There we go. He's like, voting machine security in the US is currently a joke. The joke is not funny when you consider the real world impact of such an important level of our society left comically unguarded. Never thought about that until I read this sentence. But then that makes this particular um, data set from ProPublica make so much more sense. Yeah, election security. Yes. So this is definitely a good article that I need to go and read in the next week. So that is why I have this voting machine age in 2016 election, and then the last one that I'm not 100% sure yet, where I'm gonna get the data is. So for all of the above, I have some sort of a data set for, but the last one is will my vote be counted? And then that's where I was mentioning earlier about like mail-in votes being more at risk. And then there's like different ways. So this is the one I'm like most unknowledgeable about, of how your vote can get kind of tossed out if it doesn't meet certain requirements, both in mail-in voting and also when you're at a polling place. Although apparently when you're at a polling place, it's easier to catch because then the poll worker might be like, hey, your registration is incorrect or something like that. There was something else I was reading about like day of registration that I like need to go and learn more about. So this has been a very interesting week of learning about the election in the US, which is, I think, something that I always enjoy about working with data, or working in data, I guess, is I basically approach topics with absolutely no knowledge, and then I kind of get like a crash course on that particular topic. Although for this particular project, I think it'd be really good, especially I think, yeah, actually, every step of these, um, I feel like it'd be good to have a kind of like an expert consultant, um, so that I'm not like misrepresenting the data or saying incorrect things. So I think that's kind of the last piece of the puzzle for this project. Is I'm still like I think I'm like 90% at gathering all of the data I need for this project, and I think the last piece is um, reaching out, uh, and try and find an expert, and then coming up with the budget to pay them, just to make sure that I'm putting out good information and not incorrect information. Um, yeah. Uh, Oh, yeah, Gilliam says, good call asking for help with data sources earlier today. Yeah, it was really amazing. Except for the like weird, there was like, I've also gotten a few people telling me this, but right after I tweeted this tweet asking for help, like oh no, really annoying, this whole like messages thing that pops up. Um, so, um, let's see. Yeah, so right after I tweeted this, I like got flagged as a robot and I had to go verify that I'm not a robot. It was a very weird experience. And then I also then in my subsequent tweets, they got like they were unavailable for like a few minutes after tweeting, and then they like slowly like sporadically came back. Like they like posted and then they were unavailable and then they came back. It was very weird. Like I'm just like, am I getting reviewed? And apparently I'm not the only one that this happened to, because this happened to this person, and then there's like a lot of other people that, yeah, that's basically what happened to me, this exact thing. And yeah, right after I tweeted about elections, wanting election data. So, just getting reviewed. Uh, my tweets getting reviewed. I mean, not that I know. Like, I'm just speculating that my tweets were getting reviewed. Anyways, yeah. So, this is Washington Post had a really great article about all of the USPS sorting machines that were dismantled, and then actually Christopher, which is I guess he has, yeah, actually you can just read this. I know Twitter gets a lot of crap, but I honestly really love the little corner of Twitter I'm in, and was able to, he just sent us the CSV of all of the USPS planned removals, and so that helps with the data set that I need for the second one. And then I also was asking about polling place locations, and Patrick, let's see, where is it? I don't know where any, oh, there we go. Patrick came through with this. So I thought it would be good for us to go through the data sets that came through and make sure they're data sets that we can use. I'm gonna start this observable notebook about like where I'm going to write like a more kind of like formal pitch for this project. Which, by the way, if you have a name for this project other than elections, I would love to hear your thoughts. But essentially, the project is essentially visualizing voter access in this 2020 election, because I am very concerned. Yeah, so untitled, I'm gonna call it untitled, which is not a great name. I shouldn't say that, actually. I should, yeah, let's just keep it that way. And then I'm just going to, let's see, actually, how about I drag you over here, and then I'm going to list out these things, and then kind of start putting the data I have in this notebook. So then this could be kind of like my master notebook where when I go onto data analysis, then I can kind of just like import data from this notebook. So this is like my centralized data repo for observable. High impact noise. Hello, welcome. Asks what am I currently working on? So I am currently trying to visualize voter access for the 2020 election. And right now I'm just trying to sort through and organize all of the data sets I've gathered to do this. So let's see, I don't know why I don't like capitalized letters. Like, I don't know why I don't like uppercase letters. So mail-in voting. And then the third one is polling places. And then, actually, I think maybe it'd be good for me to just say, like, those are actually, will my votes be counted? Question mark. So I think presenting it in that question format is probably pretty good. Can I get to a polling place? Can I mail in my vote? And I feel like this is kind of like the levels of, actually no. Can I register to vote? Question mark. Okay, so, and then here, so for this particular one, the first one, I think the data set is this where are votes at risk, or it's the Eves data set that EJ uses in here. And my laptop is having, oh, there we go. And so, let's see. And actually, it turns out to be exactly where we landed on Friday, and I just wasn't looking deeply enough. But the data set is actually right here in these CSVs, and actually I downloaded them earlier. they're very, very, there we go. They're actually very nice and comprehensive. So, Noob Dai says, so this is the process for dataviz. Yes. Where 80% of it is not glamorous and it is just looking, it is basically just, there is such a large part of it that is just trying to find the right data set. Um, and yeah, my laptop is struggling. Why are you struggling to even open up this file? There we go. Okay. Um, so this, as it turns out, is a really good data set if you open. Please open. There we go. Now, like, yeah, so, and actually, it'd be good to have the keys for this because, um, this is probably not helpful. These column names are not helpful. So the key for those, yeah, is right here, codebook. And actually, this is really nice. So what I usually like to do is once I find, so like, this is the mapping for these. I'm gonna make this bigger. Can I make you bigger? Zoom. 200. Yeah, so each of these are basically the mapping for these columns. And so we have things like registration forms. Ooh, ooh. Total new same day registrations. Yeah, like these are like this. I want to learn more about. Actually, what I really like is that not only do they give like valid responses, so then I need to try and find the methodology behind this data set, which to my understanding after some like skimming is that it seems like the survey is compiled by some sort of government agency. Like the survey is sent out and like government agencies seem to be like compiling this information. And then, so then that's why there's like valid responses, also like responded does not apply, or responded data not available, missing. So this like kind of summary view is really helpful. But yeah, so there's um, total active voters, inactive voters, and actually not all of them, if you can see. I don't know how to work with, I don't know how to work with like Mac numbers. And so actually, this is what we're going to do. We're going to import this into Google Sheets because I know how to work with Google Sheets. And so here, let's go to sheets.new. We're going to import this. And then hopefully my laptop will not be so complainy about this. Okay. So let's upload the data set itself. NFG Codex says you might get some traction in the SNT directory. You're absolutely right. I think I just forgot to, so, like, cause I've been like switching back and forth between just chatting and science and technology. I think I forgot to like switch it back for today, so I need to switch it back for next time. But yeah, okay, uploading. And let's replace spreadsheet, replace current sheet. And then separator type, yes, detect automatically. Yes, import data. And so what I wanted to do earlier today was I wanted to like print out all of these keys and like highlight the ones that I want to use because they're just like too many keys. Usually I'll like just like in a notebook or on my iPad, like jot down the keys that I find interesting. Let me close this, but there's just too many keys. There's like there are 400 keys, so that's a lot of data. And so interesting. There's punch cards. scanners, ballot marking device. Dang. Um, and then I found out my printer was out of toner. So the toner, I shall have the toner by Friday. But in the meanwhile, I'm just gonna have to scroll through to look at what is in this data set. Let me zoom in even further so that it's easier for you to see on the stream. Yeah, so I think as of right now, invalid registrations, mail, in person. So yeah, somewhere in here, I think there's both, look, voters removed, death, felony, fail to respond, declare mentally incompetent. So those are going to be the things I use for the first, to answer the first theme. I would love to know, let's see. So by mail transmitted, returned for counting, returned undeliverable, voided, voted in person provision, look at this, by mail rejected. Ooh, unofficial envelope. Look at all these different ways that mail-in voting has been. So this is actually really helpful for my first theme and the fourth theme. fourth theme. And then I wonder if there's poll workers. Wow. Poll workers total. And then there's ages. Provisional ballots rejected. What is the difference between a provisional ballot and a regular ballot? I would like to know, asking for myself. Look at all these ballots, reasons for ballots rejected. Oh, this is really good. And arrhythmia? Sorry for how I just tried to pronounce your handle. But hello, welcome to the chat. Says, I'm the same with Excel. I'm like, please have a max of million rows. Helium says, French Open Data Portal has a preview feature before you download the files. Yeah, actually, I think this one has some, I think maybe with this one, there's like actually a preview feature hidden somewhere within this website. Somewhere. I was like clicking around earlier today and I found some sort of a preview feature somewhere in this website. It does exist. Maybe it's this website? So no. Somewhere there was actually a preview feature, but I kind of just like to download it and just like play with it myself. So, maybe it's studies and reports. Ooh, yes. There's a data interactive. Okay, where did it? Oh wow, look at this. It's in Tableau. It's in Tableau. Okay, it's not too bad. Ooh, look at that. Measure value. Okay. State totals map. Okay, total registered voters. Okay, but that's like, that's not helpful because that's just like population in a state. So we need to compare this with like demographics data. Total active voters. Yeah, you need to compare this with demographic data for each of the states. Okay, so I don't actually think I want to play around with the data interactive. There's also a how to use guide. This is really great, I feel like. Election Administration and Voting Survey. Thank you for doing this. U.S. Election Assistance Commission. Okay. So actually by now, I should ballot marking device. Make and model. Whoa. Yeah, so actually, I feel like it wasn't until recently that I started looking into like government data. Just because I feel like I've always had this impression of government data to be like not perfectly cleaned. So I'm like, I don't want to bother with government data. But like in the last like year, I've started to look into government data. I'm like, wow, this is actually really nice. And there's like so much data here. And Helium says that file is going to be scary to parse, though. I agree. Um, and Anna says, "Hey, Arrhythmia, how are you? I remember you from Yin's stream. Oh, awesome! Welcome. Thank you for joining." Arrhythmia says, "Hi, I finally made a stream. I'm studying data science, and I'm currently taking a data visualization class. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for joining this stream too." Um, I've said this before, but I really, really like the community that's like forming in our chat. I really like it. And every time I say this, I'm like, I should make a Discord. And then I don't do anything after the stream. It will happen someday, I swear. It will happen. Okay, so, actually, all right, so let's also, this is 2016. Let's say 26, no, 20, this is 2018 data. And then let's also put in the 2018 key. So let's again import that. I think I can just like drag it in. No? Oh, no, I can't just drag it in. Okay, that was a fail. All right, but I can drag it into this. Replace spreadsheet. Yes, that is fine. Actually, I'm going to so the fun thing about ooh, whoa, oh no, I just said replace the spreadsheet. Oh, that was so stupid of me. Okay. I thought it was replace the sheet, not replace the entire spreadsheet. Okay, so here's one. Value labels. Whoa. Okay, that's helpful because I think these are the values for certain columns. Okay, so let's say 2018 values. Let's call this 2018 keys. And then also let's import in, again, let's import in the 2018 data. That was a massive fail on my part. Oh, smart point, Gilliam. Gilliam asks, can you go back one version perhaps? I've committed to importing this file. Also, it seems like it's not taking that long, so I guess that's okay. While we're doing that, I want to show my favorite thing. My favorite way, one of my favorite ways to work with data in Observable is to import in data from the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, wait, hold on. Import file. Insert new sheets. Yes. Place spreadsheet. Replace current. Okay. Place. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Please. All right. So then, what I can do is import in. Is it this one? There we go. So I can import in import my data from my spreadsheet into my observable notebook. And then that way, if I ever need to change or clean the data itself, I can do that in a spreadsheet, and then it will automatically, those changes will automatically persist in the observable notebook. So that is my little, like, if you use the same tools as I do, this is my little hack, and it makes my life a lot easier. Except for, oh, there we go. So then this is 2018 data. So let's call this 2018 election data. And so that way, what I can do, oh, hello near this. You're using Google Sheets to host the data. Cool, thank you. And oh yeah, okay, so there we go. Because I tweeted this just so I can remember how to do this, because I can never remember exactly what the like URL is supposed to be. So I do this so I remember. Okay, and then now I go back into my observable notebook, and I'm gonna say this is load in external data, and then I'm gonna call this, I think I want to bring in both 2018 and 2016 election data, but what should I call it? Eves 2018. All right, let's call it Eves 2018. And that is equal to, oh, I also need, do I want to use D3? D3 is equal to require D3, and then do d3.json, and key is use the key here. I trust my stream to not do anything with my keys. Yeah. And do I just, ooh, how do I, so is the sheet name, so I guess it's just that, and then %20 is space, right? Nope. So how do I, I think maybe if I do export, share. Oh, there is version history. I didn't know that Google Sheets had version history. Also, it still blows my mind the things that you, like, the fact that Google Sheets and Google Docs were created like what, 2010 or something like that. Like, it blows my mind that this existed on like the web in 2010. Anyways, how do I figure out my sheet name? Like, is it just that? Nope. Sheet is equal to sheet. Oh, I think there was something where I can publish to the web. Yeah. 2018 data. Yeah. Common separated values. Yeah. Sure. And now, is it just this? GID is equal to this? Output true. All right, let's see if it's, what is GID? Google ID. Yeah. Ooh, maybe that is the sheet ID. All right, let's try this. No. Or maybe it just zero. If I move this all the way here, maybe it's just 0. Yeah? No. All right. Export part of a sheet. No. Um. Oh yeah. Hello Nearlist says, can you wait? You mean the URL of Hello Nearlist? Do you mean the URL of this Stack Overflow or plus? Ooh, click on. Yeah, let me try clicking on share again. Why? No, I don't think that's it. How did I do this last time? Yeah. Except, so the thing is, when I was trying to figure this out last time, let's see, um, when I tried this publish to web before, um, I did this, and that, like, the URL that's generated from this, um, doesn't actually work with observable. So that's why, yeah, like, wait, actually, does it work with observable? Is it the one that works with, oh my god, is this the one that works with it? But I tried this last time. I tried, no, what is going on? No, no, no. Yeah, no, this is not the one that works, because I tried this last time, this particular link, and this link did not work. This is the only one that worked. This particular link is the only one that worked. So you know what? Let me take out this sheet thing and then see what happens. Why should fail? I wonder if it's a permissions error. Is it, do I have to say share and then anyone with the link? No. No, change to anyone with the link. Yeah, anyone with the link. Will this work? Permission. Oh my god, I think it's working because ooh, we're getting closer. What? Wait, hold on. Share then copy link button. And it says file publish. Use that full URL instead of the one from Stack Overflow. Triple click in the box. Might need to put back the sheet name. Wait, yeah. Let me see what this. It like the last time it took me like 2 hours to figure this out. I swear once I have it figured out, it's really great. But until then, all right. Yeah. Are you gonna work? No. So, all right. All right. Okay, so let's try what you're suggesting and wait, triple click. Triple click. Okay. Oh. No, so yeah, let's try the sheet name again. Share then copy link button. Yeah, so the thing is, so I know like Gilliam and Anna's asking, like, why not just use the URL they give you in Google Doc, and like that Google gives me, and like the share button or the publish button. And the answer is I've tried those and they do not work. Whatever it is, don't know why they do not work. But this one somehow, this one is the one that magically works. I don't know if this is like a hack or something, but. Okay, wait, hold on. File, publish. Oh yeah, no. This one does not work. Although I can try it again. Web page, comma separated values. Watch me say like this does not work, and then duh, I'm so dumb. It's because I was using d3.json instead of d3.csv. Now Look at that! Yes! It worked. Right. Okay. Alright. Hello you just asks, what's the link to that Stack Overflow how to? Yes! Thank you! Thank you for the support. Thank you for the moral support. Yes. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me get this to hello new. There it is. Alright. So that is the Stack Overflow answer. Yes, yes. Okay. Alright. At least this is shorter than the 2 hours it took me last time to figure this out. And then let me also export the keys. Actually, I think what would be great is no. Let's just. I was like, maybe I should just process this data. No, don't process the data. Just load everything in. Don't try to be smart. Oops. Yeah, it just the only things is that this whoa, wait, it's giving me the same. All right, so apparently I cannot use 0, 1, 2 for the sheet names. So let's go back to trying what I named them to. The %20 in there. See if that works. Yes! Yes! Okay. 2018 %20 data. Nice. Alright. Originally I was thinking of also loading in 2016 data. And now I'm like, maybe that's too much to load in. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So now that I've done that, wow, that took much longer than I was intending. Now that I've done that, I can be like, so this one I can use. Oh, I like you can make tables. You can make tables in observable. So I can. This is really bothering me. The white space doesn't even matter, but yeah, why is there that white space? I wonder how many of these white spaces there are. Sure. Ooh, 143 of them. Okay, anyways. I've lost what I was gonna do. So Anna asks, do very large data sets still work well in observable? I don't think I've really noticed as much of, well, so I can't ever really tell if the lag is because of I feel like it's usually just because of my machine. So like, I don't think observable itself has much of like, I don't think the observable website has as much of the performance issues as well, I guess you can say that about like any piece of software, that the software is going to be only as good as the machine that you're running it on. I just made that up, but it sounded right. But I don't think I've really had trouble with observable. I think it's more just my poor laptop. Hello new that says, have you considered using 1080p with a lowish bitrate to make the text more readable? Ooh, it'll be something to experiment with sometime. the streamer does it and the results are great. I have not considered that because I didn't know to do that. But I will, I think right now it's what, 720p? So I'll look into that sometime. But okay, let's do, so the can I register to vote? I think I would use the Eves data. So I think the main one is the Eves data set, where I can look at the number of, I'm gonna bring this over here now, and I can look at I think, what was it? There's the invalid registrations. Then there's also notifications. Huh. Let me show you. Notifications. Oh yeah, voters removed. I want the voters removed because of felony. I don't know what it means when it says fail to respond, mentally incompetent, and yeah, so I think those are where I'm going to use the Eves data, and I think offline I'm going to clean up this data set and kind of like join the labels, and then, or like I'm going to probably clean this data set, and then in here in another cell I'm going to clean the data set and then like make the and then just so that I can make like a JSON of just these information that I want. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then this one also is Eves data. I can use there was by mail rejected, and there was, let me search for the word rejected. So Guillaume says it might mean more processing power needed though. Yeah, my laptop is like 2015 version. Hello near this says, I think Shirley is right in her code. The processing is done on the user side and not server side. Yes, Guillaume took hardware at it. D3 in WebAssembly. UOCAV. I wonder what's non-military ballot. Ooh, UOCAVA. What does that mean? Uniformed and Overseas Citizen Absentee Voting Act. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. I don't even really know how like overseas voting works. So actually, I wonder if that's like something else to look into. UOCAVA is this is just like look into it, I guess. Look into, which is uniformed for, wait, oh, uniformed or overseas? Is that what it was? And Overseas Citizen Absentee Voting Act. Wow. Okay. So let's do that. And then Yeah, so non-military FWABs. Okay, I feel like I need to not get distracted and only. All right, let's not get distracted here. And provisional ballots rejected. Okay, so then the last thing I'm going to do for this stream is I'm going to look into this particular data set of civic information API. Actually, this one. So this is Patrick sent me this GitHub repo of polling locator during the primaries. So let's take a look at this one. An app to help people find their polling locations. Users can look up their address and see their options for where, when, and how they can vote, including regular polling locations, early vote locations. So this was for the primaries, and I asked if that would change between primaries in general. And Patrick said that there should be a great deal of carryover. That makes sense, though with COVID, that has all changed. Let's see. So what I want to know, let's see. Ooh. Okay. So let's take a look at the front end. Oh, this is the. Let's see. Polling locator. Ooh. Oh, this is the copy documentation. Okay. I was like, ooh, documentation. Yeah, okay. So this is not exactly what I'm looking for. This is awesome though. Okay, so no, these are the readmes, backend, data model. You need to populate the database with data. All right, let me make this bigger so that different states assign polling locations in different ways. Polaris is able to handle day of election polling locations, early vote centers, and drop boxes. Handle either one or two or multiple polling locations per precinct. Two main sections, mapping a person's address to the precinct they live in, and mapping a precinct to the polling locations for that precinct. This is represented in polling location. Okay, so, but I want to know the actual, if there's like a database of all these polling locations somewhere. Like they have, for this to work, they have to have like a database of polling locations, right? That would make sense, right? Wait. On an import, see, add Shirley to URL, add a URL to our patterns, include, okay, so I don't think it's this one, location, models. Okay, so I guess it would make sense that they wouldn't like have their database here, right? Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Let me just go to Polaris app. So what I want to know is their database of polling locations. So but where are you getting the polling locations from? Where is it? Google Civic. Google Civic Information API lets developers build applications. Okay. Residential address, you can look up who represents that address. During supported elections, you can look up polling places. Okay. All right. How it works. Okay, the problem is that it's not like I have yeah, it's not like I have, I mean, does that mean that I would have to like figure out an address for each county and then like hit this API? State and okay, info query returns data for elections supported by the Voting Information Project. Okay, guys. To be fair, this is already much better than not having any information. So, ooh, thank you, Anna Close. Says there was a data folder. Thank you. So let's see. Polaris. There's a data folder. How do I search in? I swear there's like a way you can search for like, oh, here. Data. Yes. No. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay. Ooh, hello to Root Guy and hello to Chris J. Mears. Thank you for joining the chat. Let's see. Anna, do you know if that data folder was in the backend? There's tests, views, management. Where is the data folder? Scripts? QC. I feel like I went and looked at every folder in backend. Yeah, I think I did. I'm starting to. I feel like there should be a much more efficient way to search through a tests. Oh, but that's tests data. Let's see. It seems like, yeah, so this is data for tests. Okay, so that's probably not what we want. Google geocode response. All right. Actually, let's try out Polaris. Actually, what is this one? Vote in person. actually, let's look at reference. Ooh, elections. Yes, yes. That sounds like it's going in the right direction. Election day. OCD division ID. Okay. Voter info query. Yeah, it really does sound like I have to give an exact address. Uh, wow. That's a lot of data though. Wait, okay, I'm gonna do this. And when? Hmm. Hmm. Where is? Wait. I wonder if this website is still up. Nope. Nope. That one is no longer up. Okay. Gilliam says you need a whole Google Developers Console project to work with this API. I don't know, but I would guess yes. Ooh, acquire and apply is giving us a link. Thank you so much. So, hmm. According to their code, it really does look like it is using the Google Civic Data API. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board about this one. It might be that we're not able to get 2020 information, but only 2018. I don't know. That feels really dissatisfactory. But we do have this one. And for that particular one, I think it might end up being that I just have to. So, one of the things is I really want to know the timelines, and that might just be like I just manually go and grab the dates from this particular article. It's probably good for me to just like read through. I really want to read through all 50 states and their dates. I don't know, but it'd probably be informative. Sometimes the things that you have to do to get your data, and there has to be like there 100%. I know there exists like some sort of table that compiles all of this information. Like they 538 must have one. Washington Post also published something similar to this, and they must have one. It just, I mean, they're not obligated to make it public because their reporters like put in the time and effort to like assemble this data. But sometimes it is rough too. It's like sometimes it's so rough to just be on your own. That is, that just sounds so, I don't know, it sounds so weird to say. But yeah, for this one, I think it's gonna have to be this, manually enter this, and then But the great thing is at least I wouldn't have to manually clean and process this information because Christopher at Washington Post has already done that and shared that data, which was really, really um, very like kind is like a weird word to use, but like it was really nice of him to do that. So at least we have the USPS sorting machine data um, figured out. And then actually, I think, let me see if I can download this. Get the data. In order to download this data, you must agree to our data terms of use. Unless you wish to, okay. That's cute. Um, I agreed to abide by the terms of use. Ooh, what is their data terms of use? You can't republish the raw data in its entirety, that's fine. You can't change the data, that's fine. You can't charge people money to look at that's fine. If you use the data for public, okay, that makes sense. Okay, fair. And then, okay, I wish they have a methodology in that case. Okay, I agree. Mountains or hills? What? Oh, select, okay. Does that count? Yeah, that counts. Dude, these, like, it's getting weirder. These verifications are getting, like, weirder and weirder. Ooh, yes. Voting machines. So let's look at this data set. Ooh, optical scan. I think this would be very interesting. So definitely. Ooh, is there a FIPS code? Perfect. We can map everything together with FIPS code. First year range. Mail vote. Voting machine. Wonder. I guess, does it optical scan? Does it matter if I cross-reference this data set with this Eves one? Because the Eves one also says scanner, make and model. Whoa, there's hand counting? Oh my god. Lever. Alright. Okay. Anyways. So that, at least this data set looks like it's pretty straightforward. And that I probably don't need to do much cleaning, it seems like. Wow. What an extensive data set. Alright. Mountains or hills? Hey, this is a dataviz stream, isn't it? Yes, it was supposed to be. Okay, so we have, I think, this stream has been going on for longer and longer. Originally started out as an hour, and now it's more leaning towards an hour and a half. And I think as I go on with this project more, it's probably going to get even longer. And so I was thinking of moving the stream, maybe starting next week to earlier in the morning of like maybe 10 or 10:30 a.m. PST. And so if I do that, I'll tweet about it. So yeah, please check my Twitter for any such updates. But I think this is probably a decent place to stop. And I'll probably keep working on it a little bit more off stream. And then hopefully I'll have some updates for you on Friday. And I'll probably also start picking up the frequency of my streams just to accommodate for the time crunch of this project. But, Anna says, a question: how do you figure out which data is useful for you and what you can ignore? It really depends. It really depends on the topic and the data set. I think usually the best is having like a domain expert to be like, oh, this is relevant information, not relevant information. I think other than that, for topics, especially topics I'm not familiar with, I just try to exercise common sense of being like, um, is it uh, is it relevant information to, well, okay, so I guess common sense in terms of like, there's always going to be some, like even in this data set, like there are going to be some that aren't really relevant for uh our goals. So I guess the answer to the question is probably, the most helpful way is to um, interact with the data only after you've kind of jotted down some questions or some themes, basically something to like constrain your exploration of the data. Or else, like, you might just get distracted by like everything in the data set and be like, oh, this is interesting, which I get distracted by all the time. But once you like have like either kind of the theme that I was talking about earlier, or particular questions that you're trying to answer. So once you have that, you can usually kind of use, common sense is not the right phrase, but like you can kind of like exercise like your judgment on whether you would need a particular part of the data or not. Or it might just be that like you explore it and it's just not that interesting. Or, but I think approaching the data set with like a particular question in mind of like what you're trying to figure out, I think that would be the most useful. So yeah. And yeah, I totally have you in mind, Gilliam. You and DT and everybody that joins from Europe. I have you in mind when I'm thinking earlier streams, because I know it's already almost 1 a.m. for you, and I'm sorry that I'm keeping you awake. Um, and yeah, I agree, Alice. That was a really good question on Anna's part. And please don't ever be afraid of asking what you might consider to be newbie questions, but are really usually quite good questions. Yeah, of course, Anna. And Aquarian Apply says, thanks for sharing. Good luck with the rest of the project. Thank you so much. Alice says, I think about that sometimes as a data newbie. And Alice says, yes, we are here for more streams. Yes, hopefully I don't exhaust myself from the number of streams and having it be earlier. I am not an morning person, but our most recent trend of waking up early gives me some hope for like a 10:30 a.m. PST sort of a stream. Gives me hope. And Gilliam, yeah, I don't blame you. Thank you for sticking around, Gilliam. Okay, so let's end it here today. I think just for like all of my European audiences, I think it might just be good to shift this stream earlier either way. But I'll try and make a decision by next Monday, and I'll try and give an update on Twitter. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for sitting through all of these different data explorations with me. Really excited that this idea is starting to come together. And I will see you on Friday. Thank you so much. Bye bye.